Okay, so let's look at your second equations, your second system. What do you want to eliminate? What would be the easiest one to eliminate? You can do a couple of things. Let's talk about what are all the things that we could do. If I wanted to eliminate the x's, what would I have to do? Listen, if I wanted to eliminate the x, what would I have to multiply by? I would have to multiply this top equation by -6. What if I wanted to eliminate the y's? What could I do? Multiply what by +2? Multiply the bottom equation by +2. Do you see that? So I have two choices. You need to decide what you want to do. So what are we thinking? You want to multiply by 6? Okay. So I'm going to take -6 times the quantity x plus 4y equals 14. And I'm going to add that to the 6x minus 2y equals 6. So this is me just rewriting my equation. -6 times x is -6x. -6 times 4y is -24y. And -6 times 14 is -84. So when I add these two together, I'm going to eliminate the x's. So let's see, a +6 and a -84 equal a -78. A -2 and a -24 equal a -26. So I have -26y equals -78. Divide both sides by -26. And I find out that y equals 3. So that's the second coordinate to my solution. So y equals 3. I'm going to plug that into this equation right here. 6x minus 2 times 3 equals 6. 6x minus 6 equals 6. When I add 6 to both sides, I have 6x equals 12. When I divide both sides by 6, I find out that x equals 2. So that's my system solution. Let's check it. So x is 2. 2 plus y is 3. 4 times 3 equals 14. That says 2 plus 12 equals 14. Is that true? Yes. Let's check the second equation. 6 times 2 minus 2 times 3 equals 6. Well, 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. 12 minus 6 equals 6. To the first problem, like number 3. Okay, do you see it? You have to check. You have to show your checks, okay? You got it, Lorelai? You good? Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. So for these next two examples, we're going to have to multiply both the top and the bottom equation. So here's what I want you to think about. If I wanted to eliminate the x's, I could multiply the top by 2 and the bottom by -3. I don't know if you can see that or not, but if I wanted to eliminate the y's, I could multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by -7. You decide which method you want to do, and we'll rewrite these off to the side and use that. So 3x minus 7y. Rosie, what are you thinking? Yeah. Well, remember that you're always trying to find opposites. You want the coefficients to be opposites. So these are both the same sign. So like the the y terms are both the same sign, so one of them has to be negative to make them opposites. Does that make sense? You could choose. I could have made the 5 negative and the y positive. Yeah, you just need to have opposite coefficients. It doesn't matter. As long as you have opposite coefficients, it's your choice. That's why this is probably one of the coolest methods, because you can use, like, we could solve this. There are a ton of different things that we could do, but here's my advice. I would choose the one that requires me to multiply by the smallest numbers. So do you want to multiply everything by 5 and 7, or would you prefer to multiply everything by a 2 and a 3? A 2 and a 3. You're going to end up with smaller numbers. So here's another thing to decide. Do you want the coefficient on the top to be the negative number, or do you want the coefficient on the bottom? I like the coefficient on the bottom to be negative, but it's your choice. So I'm going to multiply this top one by 2 and this bottom one by negative 3. But I could multiply the top one by negative 2 and the bottom one by positive 3, because I would still end up with a negative 6 and a positive 6. You see what I'm saying? Okay, let's do that. So 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times negative 7y is negative 14y. 2 times 8 is 16. Now let's multiply the bottom. Remember, I'm looking for opposites. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6x. A negative 3 times a negative 5 is a positive 15y. A negative 3 times a positive 7 is a negative 21. I'm going to add these two equations together. 16 and negative 21 is negative 5. Negative 14 and positive 15 is 1. So I just have 1y. My 6's cancel out, which is what we wanted. Positive 6, negative 6. Those go away. So I already know that y equals negative 5. I'm going to take that and plug it back into the first equation. 3x minus 7 times negative 5 equals 8. 3x plus a negative times a negative is a positive. 35 equals 8. I'm going to subtract 35 from both sides. 3x equals negative 27. Divide both sides by 3. X equals negative 9. So my ordered pair for this is negative 9, negative 5, and I still need to check it. What are your thoughts? Okay. So let's do the check. 3 times negative 9 minus 7 times negative 5 equals 8. Well, that says negative 27 plus 35 is 8, and that is true. 2 times negative 9 minus 5 times negative 5 equals 7. That says negative 18 plus 25 equals 7, and that is also true. Those of you that are just like staring at the screen, I don't know why you wouldn't be writing this down. I really don't. McKinley, let me know when you're ready, okay? I know you're trying to see through the masses. I can slide it up a little bit for you too. Sorry. You're good? Everybody got that? All right, so let's look at this one. Tell me what you want to multiply by. It's your choice. Do you want to eliminate the x's or the y's? Someone kind of walk me through their thinking. Macy. Can we eliminate the y's? I think that's a great idea. Macy, in order to eliminate the y's, what do we have to do? Look at the y's right now. Are they opposites right now? So if they're opposites, don't multiply by a negative because you just change the value of the number. You keep it. You're going to multiply by two positives because you don't want to change the sign. So we're going to multiply by 7 and 2. I love that. So 7 times 3x is 21x. 7 times negative 2 is awesome. And 7 times 6 is perfect. Now let's multiply the bottom equation. 2 times 5x is 2 times 7y is a positive 14y, yeah. And 2 times 41 is 82. So now we have them set up that we can add and we have opposite coefficients. Oops, wrong color. Sorry. These are what's going to cancel out, right? That negative 14y, that positive 14y. So let's see. 42 and 82 equal, oh my gosh, sorry. It's big. Lift up your foot. Lift up your foot. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I didn't want it crawling on you. They freaked me out. Sorry. I apologize. Okay. 42 and 82 equal 124. The y's cancel out. 21 plus 10 is 31x. Divide both sides by 31. X equals 4. So that's my first coordinate. X equals 4. What do you want to plug that back into? Do you want to plug it into the first equation or the second? It's your choice. To the second one? Okay. So 5 times 4 plus 7 times y equals 41. 5 times 4 is 20. So 20 plus 7y equals 41. Subtract 20 from both sides. 7y equals 21. When I divide both sides by 7, I find out that y equals 3. So we have to check this. Okay. So 3 times 4 minus 2 times 3 equals 6. Well, 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. 12 minus 6 is, in fact, 6. Second equation, 5 times 4 plus 7 times 3 equals 41. Well, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 7 times 3 is 21, and 20 plus 21 is, in fact, 41. Are they getting easier? Is it making more sense? Okay, we'll talk about homework. We'll go through and just maybe discuss what you should multiply by to help you eliminate it. And we're going to do more practice tomorrow. So let me know when you're ready for me to go to the next problem. You guys are good? Is anyone still writing? Does anyone need me to hold on this? 8:55. Don't leave until 8:55. You're fine. Lorelai, you good now? Okay. Okay. So these are called special cases, probably because something weird's going to happen, right? Whenever I feel like the term special in math just takes away anything fun out of it. Special just means weird. It's going to be challenging, right? So just know that ahead of time. We call it special, but really it means it doesn't follow the rules. So let's try this. What do you think we should multiply by? What do you want to eliminate? Do you want to get rid of the x or the y? x. So if we get rid of the x, do we have to multiply both equations, or can we just multiply one equation? We can multiply one equation. We can multiply the bottom equation by what number? -3, because it has to be opposite coefficients. So I'm going to keep the first equation the way it is. 9x plus 12y equals 3. But my second equation, -3 times 3x is -9x. -3 times 4y is -12y. And -3 times 2 is -6. So what craziness is going to take place here? Everything on this side cancels out, and I end up with 0 equals -3. How often does 0 equal -3? Just on Wednesdays? Absolutely never, right? Never. Did you say absolutely just on Wednesdays? Yeah, what happens when we get a false statement like this? What does that mean? It means no solution. This is no solution. And I'm going to put a slash through that equal sign because 0 does not equal -3. Think in terms of your equations now on a graph. When we get a no solution, what does this mean? This means that our graph looks like what? I'm going to ask it again because I don't know if you guys are paying attention with me. If we have a graph, if we graph these two equations and we end up with no solution, what does that mean my graph looks like? Say it. Parallel lines. Good job. Get yourself a piece of candy. Parallel lines. Okay. There's 2 candy jars. Just pick one. Okay, let's look at this second one. What do you want to get rid of? What do you think, Miss Cheyenne? What do you want to eliminate? You want to? Sure. So we have to multiply the top equation because that coefficient is smaller. So what can I multiply that -2x to make it be the opposite of 10? 2 times 2 is, yeah. 5. I'm going to multiply it by 5. Because 2 times 5 gives me 10, right? So 2 times 5 is -10x. 5 times -4 is -20y. And 5 times 2 is 10. I'm going to put my second equation right below it. And then I'm going to add these two together. What the heck happens here? I end up with 0 equals 0. Is that true? Does 0 equal 0? Yeah, this is true. What does that mean? Infinitely many solutions. What does that mean in terms of a graph? Yeah. I'm going to put the 2 lines are stacked on top of each other. The 2 lines are stacked on top of each other. Are we good? Lorelai, good? Yeah? Okay. I saw you still writing. I wanted to check. Okay. Two word problems. So with our word problems, we have to define our variable, write our 2 systems, our 2 equations for our system, and then solve it. All right. We're going to set these 2 up, and I'm going to let you guys solve it. But I'll pause the screen and solve it in the video. I just want you guys to have a chance to work on your homework. So you've invited 56 people to your graduation party. You can afford to rent 5 tables, round or rectangular, each costing the same. Each round table can seat 8 people, and each rectangular table can seat 12. How many round tables should you rent? So let's let X equal the number of round tables. And I'm going to let Y equal the number of rectangular tables. Okay. I can afford to rent 5 tables. That's the first thing that's important. So that means that what? That means that the number of round tables plus the number of rectangle tables has to equal 5. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the number of people we can put at each table. How many people fit at a round table? So that's 8x. 8 people at a round plus how many people can sit at a rectangular table? 12y. And how many people did I invite? Okay. So we're not using substitution. We're using elimination. What are we going to multiply by when we solve this? -8. Good job. So I'm going to take this first equation and I'm going to multiply it by -8. But I'm going to show my work down here. So -8 times x is -8x. -8 times y is -8y. And -8 times 5 is -40. And I'm going to stack the second equation right below that. 8x plus 12y equals 56. I'm going to add these two equations together. Let's see. -40 and a positive 56 equals 16. My x's cancel out, which is what I want, right? I want these to go away. -8y and a positive 12y equal 4y. Divide both sides by 4, and I find out that y equals 4. That means I'm going to get 4 rectangular tables. How many tables am I buying? How many total tables am I buying or renting? 5. So how many round tables am I getting? 1. 1 round table. Okay. All right, Alexis, you go get your picture taken. I'm going to do number 10. Did everybody get that? Sorry. Does everyone see where I got the 1 round table? I just knew that 4 plus something has to equal 5. That's where I got the 1 round. Okay. You and several other people are helping your aunt move. You volunteer to go out and buy sandwiches. You get 6 chicken sandwiches and 6 hamburgers for $30. Later that afternoon, everyone is hungry again. So you go to the same shop and buy 4 chicken sandwiches and 8 hamburgers for $30.60. What is the price of 10 chicken and 10 hamburgers? So let's do this. Let's let X equal the cost of the chicken. And we're going to let Y equal the cost, because that's what it's asking about, of the hamburger. So what's our first equation going to be? And it's right here. Here's your first equation. What do you think? What do you think, Lanaya? That first equation I have boxed in. Yeah, perfect. Your second equation is right here. I'm going to change my color a little bit. Your second equation is right here. Michaela, what's my second equation? If you don't want to answer, you can say pass. Yeah, good job. 4x plus 8y equals 30, 60. So those are the two equations that I'm working with. Okay. So we have to figure out the cost of the chicken and the hamburger to finish answering this question. So what are we thinking about doing to eliminate, using elimination, what do you want to multiply by? Both of my coefficients are positive on both x's and y's. They're all positive. So we're going to have to multiply by a positive number and a negative number to make them be opposites. So do you want to get rid of the x's or the y's? X's. So how about if we multiply by a positive 4 and a negative 6? Is that okay? So 4 times 6x is 24x. 4 times 6y is 24y. And 4 times 30 is 120. Negative 6 times 4x is negative 24x. Negative 6 times 8y is negative 48y. And negative 6 times 30, 60 is 0, 6, 3. I think it's $183.60. Negative $183.60. But someone wants to check my math. That's great. I think it's negative 183.60. Who's calculating that for me? Is that right? Okay, thank you. Negative 183.60. Okay. So we're going to add these two things together. We're going to end up eliminating our what? We're going to eliminate our x's, okay? So 120 and a negative 183.60 equals a negative 63.60. A positive 24 and a negative 48 equal a negative 24. So when I divide both sides by negative 24, this would have been horrible to graph, right? Someone tell me the cost of a hamburger. So 63.60 divided by 24. $2.65. I think that's correct. Okay. So we have to take that and plug it back into one of the equations to find the value of x. I'm just going to plug it right here into my first equation. 6x plus 6 times 265 equals 30. 6x plus, I don't know what 6 times 265 is. I think it's 2010. Is someone checking that? It might be 2110. I don't know. I did it in my head. It's what? 15.9. See, there you go. That's why I shouldn't do that in my head. Thank you. So it's 15.9 equals 30 minus 15.9 from both sides. So 6x equals 14.10. Divide both sides by 6, and I find out that x is, what's 1410 divided by 6? 235? Okay. So a chicken costs $2.35. And hamburger costs $2.65. And the question is, how much is it going to cost for 10 each? So 10 times 235 plus 10 times 265. Well, that's 23.50 plus 26.50, which equals $50, right? Could you go buy 10 chicken sandwiches, like 10 McChickens and 10 cheeseburgers for $50? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't eat them. Questions? All right. So did everybody have that written down? So homework. We're using elimination. So number 1 and number 2, they're already opposites. Do you see that? Question number 1, they're already set up. For question number 2, do you want me to tell you what I think you should multiply by, or do you guys want to figure it out on your own? How about if you tell me? 2a. What do you think you should multiply by? -4. Okay. You can multiply by -4 and you'd have opposite x's. Yes. What else could you multiply by? You could also multiply by 2 and get opposite y's. So either multiply by a -4 to get rid of your x's or a +2 to get rid of your y's. What about b? If I multiply by -3 on the bottom, if I multiply by -3, what's that going to get rid of? On this right here? Yeah, multiply by -2. And that'll get rid of your y's. Okay. What about 3a? What are you thinking? I see that my y's are already opposites, so I would multiply the top equation by 2 and the bottom equation by 3, and that would get rid of my y's. Do you see that? I'd end up with 6y negative 6y. For letter B, I would probably multiply the bottom one by 2 and the top one by -5, and that would eliminate the x's. Or you could multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 7, and that would eliminate your y's. Okay. These are just, you're just finding the solution. Intersection of lines, remember that's the solution. So you're just going to plug those in and find out which one works. Use the elimination method. So this is in person. I don't want you to do this one. There were 2 problems that Mrs. Zackel Parker crossed off, and I uncrossed them. I don't want you to do that one. But number 6, you should be able to do. It's an age question. X is Lily's age, Y is Rosie's age. Soda and popcorn, X and Y. And that's it. So you don't have 7 questions. You actually have 6 because we're eliminating number 5. Skip number 5.